I'm Martin Holt, 36. For 18 years, my own family believed I couldn't hold a job. I let them believe it. While they told that story at every dinner table, I served this country in work I wasn't allowed to talk about and quietly kept their household standing. Then my brother introduced me to his groomsmen as the family deadbeat. And one man in that fitting room recognized the scar on my wrist. We grew up over my father's hardware store. From 9, I worked the register Saturdays. My brother Grant, 3 years younger, was the shine of the family since birth. I was the reliable one, the invisible one. By senior year, the store was dying. I had a partial scholarship to the state school. Grant, 14, looked up from his cereal. "You're going to state, right? You're the smart one." In our family, compliments came with assignments. I enlisted in August 2008, 18 years old, in a strip mall recruiting office. I told my parents I'd found a job instead of taking the scholarship. I let the word job do all the work. My mother cried about the scholarship. My father looked relieved, then sad, because that money could stay in the house and eventually in Grant. I never regretted the decision. I've regretted the silence I wrapped it in. The Army sent me to EOD school, bomb disposal. I graduated at 20, Iraq in 2010, sergeant at 22, Afghanistan in 2012, staff sergeant at 23. Home built its own version of me from whatever scraps I left lying around. He moves boxes somewhere became between things again. I never corrected it, because correcting it meant opening a door I kept locked for a living. In July 2014, my platoon got pinned in a dry irrigation cut with a buried device on the only exit path, while the valley woke up around us. I went forward alone. That's the job description, not bravery. I was mid-render safe when a secondary charge threw flame across my sleeve. I knelt on my own burning arm to starve the fire and kept working with my right hand because 11 men were still in that ditch. It took 90 seconds.
I remember as either 5 seconds or an hour. The man who carried me out, fist locked on my collar the whole flight, was 24. His name was Deacon Cole.
I spent 11 months at the Army's burn center. My family was told I was out west between jobs. 11 years later, Grant got engaged. I came home for the wedding, moved into the garage apartment, same as always. Saturday was the suit fitting downtown. I was there hanging garment bags. Someone asked what I did these days. Before I could answer, Grant grinned into the mirror. "Don't mind him, he lives off our parents, can't hold a job." My father chuckled into his coffee. "Every family's got one." I said nothing. I reached to hang a jacket and my sleeve rode up, the grafted skin on my wrist showing under the shop lights. Across the room, Deacon Cole stopped laughing mid-laugh. "Where did you get that?" He walked outside with his phone. 20 minutes later, 2 men rushed in. One whispered, "Hazard 21." The room went silent. Deacon explained it. The ditch, the device, the fire. 11 men who walked out because of a tech whose real name they'd never had. My father stood like the floor had shifted. Grant's face emptied. "There were a lot of people there," I said. "I did my part." Then I finished steaming Grant's jacket, because unfinished work has always bothered me. That night, I told my parents everything. The enlistment, the burn, the 9 years of quietly paying their property taxes through my Army allotment. My mother cried hardest over the choir robe phone calls she'd made while I sat burned in a hospital courtyard. Grant came at me angry first, then 3 days later knocked at dawn with 2 bad coffees and asked for the real story. I gave it to him. He redid the wedding seating chart himself, moved me to the family table, kept my citation off the wedding website. At the reception, I found a card at my place. 11 names in Deacon's handwriting. No explanation needed. Grant's toast never named me directly. "To the ones who show up early," he said and raised his glass. That was enough. Later, my father asked me to dance. "I told the wrong story about you for years," he said. "I'm done telling stories. I'm just going to be proud." That night, in the tent, I finally rolled my sleeve up in the open air of my hometown. Nobody stared. Nobody explained it. and that ordinary moment felt greater than any medal I'd ever been given.